Okay, so uh, 1 second. Okay, so in the morning session we consider related. So previously, whenever we are going to consider this topic, we consider related to three phase, half wave, and full wave uncontrolled. So what is the difference between the controlled rectifier and an uncontrolled rectifier? Means nothing but simply you are going to place the diodes in the case of an uncontrolled rectifier and SCRs in the case of a controlled rectifier. Okay, so three phase, half wave, and full wave uncontrolled rectifier, three phase, half wave controlled rectifier with R and RL load. So this is what we considered. We considered a transformer provided with primary delta and secondary star connection, and that is going to be the star connection is going to be connected to three diodes, three SCRs, in which we consider the operation for resistive load and RL, or resistive load and RL load. Okay, then we need to consider the three phase full wave control rectifier and three phase control rectifier. Both are going to have the operation same. Okay, but the only thing is number of devices that are going to be employed. Okay, so here in the last class we considered related to these 12 pulse converter, 6 pulse converter, like that, isn't it? So whenever you are going to consider these uh, 12 pulse converter, the 12 pulse converter, the symbolic representation for that is the 12 pulse converter is going to be this one. So when it is going to be used means it is going to be used when the power requirement is power demand requirement is going to be high. So they are going to be used up to 2 megawatt DC output level required. If the DC output level required for the application is going to be up to 2 megawatt, then in the case it is the dual converter is going to be used. So what is this dual converter means? This is going to be one converter as I stated earlier. Okay, here you are going to have a load. This load may be a motor, DC motor, and this is going to be another converter. So phase A, phase B, phase C for converter 1, phase A, phase B, phase C for converter 2, provided with a load. Okay, so when these converters are going to be considered, when these converters are going to be considered means whenever we need to consider the operation of the drives in all the four quadrants, operation of the drive in the all the four quadrants. In that case, we are going to consider this dual converters. Okay, so this dual converter is going to be the combination of two three-phase full converters connected in and opposite direction or anti-parallel. So this is going to be operating for two quadrants, and this is going to be operating for the two quadrants. Okay, so that means whenever you are going to consider this forward motoring and forward motoring and braking. So when the braking is going to be applied means, so torque, whenever you are going to consider this torque, the torque is going to be dependent on the current. The speed, when you are going to consider the speed is going to be dependent on the voltage applied across the motor, isn't it? So whenever the voltage is applied across the motor is going to be positive and the torque is going to be positive, the motor is going to be rotating in, let us consider, we are going to consider the motor to be rotating in the forward motoring mode. Okay, coming to the other, that is going to be whenever you are going to consider, whenever you are going to consider in this particular case, the torque is going to be negative. The torque is going to be negative, and the uh, torque is going to be negative, and the motor is the speed is going to be positive. So forward motor is going to be rotating, but the torque prevailing across the motor is going to be applied in the reverse. That can be treated to be simply as of braking mode. So forward motoring mode, forward braking mode. In this case, the torque is going to be omega n is going to be reversed, omega minus omega n. So minus omega n means completely the motor rotation is going to be in the reverse direction. So first and second quadrants are going to be representing the forward rotation of the motor. Third and fourth quadrants are going to be providing the reverse motoring mode of the motoring mode, reverse motoring and braking modes. Okay, so here whenever you are going to consider this, whenever the drive is to be operated in all these quadrants, in that case these dual converters are going to be considered. Okay, So if you are going to consider the output from this particular converter, the output from this particular converter is going to be, the current is going to be always positive, but the voltage is going to be maybe positive, maybe, or it may be negative, isn't it? So always the current is going to be positive, means torque is going to be positive, but the voltage is going to be maybe positive, or it is going to be output voltage may be negative. So output voltage is going to be positive means your omega n is going to be positive, omega n is going to be, speed is going to be positive. Output voltage is going to be negative means omega n is going to be negative, means one converter is going to provide the operation of 1 and 4. So converter 1 is going to provide the operation of 1 and 4. Okay, if you are going to consider, if you are going to consider the other, that is going to be this converter. In this particular converter, the converter is going to be nothing but placed in reverse, in reverse. Okay, so whenever you are going to consider this, the current is going to be the same, but the voltage applied across the load is going to be, earlier it is going to be plus and minus, but in the case it is going to be plus and minus. Okay, so what you are going to get here, in this case you are going to have the reverse motoring mode and forward braking mode. So these two, 1 and 4, are going to be provided by converter 1, and 2 and 3 are going to be provided by converter 3, which makes the operation, which makes the operation to be of dual converter. Okay, this is simply related to the dual converter. This dual converter is going to have 12 switches, 6 switches for one converter, 6 switches for the other converter. Okay, so then we consider related to these three phase converters. This is going to be a half wave uncontrolled converter. So you are going to have an output voltage provided to be like this, which we considered earlier. So phase A, phase B, phase C provided three phase output. Output voltage, each device is going to have the conduction from 120 degrees, okay, from 30 to 150, 150 to 270, 270 to 390. Okay, so the voltage prevailing across the voltage prevailing across this and neutral point is going to be nothing but a prevailing across the load. So you are going to get the output voltage provided like this. Okay, so then this is going to be a full bridge converter. So in the case of this full bridge converter, what it happens means, in the case of this full bridge converters, if T1 is going, if D1 is going to be in the conduction, you are going to have two of the uncontrolled devices to be in the conduction. So this 120 degrees of conduction, this 120 degrees conduction of D1 is going to be shared by D4 and D6. If it is going to be D3 in the conduction, then D6 and D2 are going to share this, that 120 degrees. Okay, so that can be observed here. You can observe this here. Okay, so this is going to be the supply voltage waveform. In this particular supply voltage waveform, the conduction for D1 is going to be from this point to this point, that is from 30 to 150. Conduction for phase B is going to be 150 to 270, and phase C is going to be from 270 to 390. Okay, so in this, if D1 is made to be D1 comes to the conduction, then what will happen means the other in the D3 and D4. So that is the, once check this guideline here, provided here to be from this point and provided from this particular point, you are going to have a total conduction of 120 degrees. Okay, in this 120 degrees, you are going to have an output DC voltage, which is going to be VAB for some part and VAC for some other part. VAB, VAC. So that can be obtained by V, that is going to be VA minus some part, it is going to be provided for D6, VA minus VC. Okay, VAC is going to be nothing but VA minus VC. Whenever you are going to consider other, that is going to be VB. So you are going to have VA minus VB from 30 to 90 degrees, from 90 to 150 degrees, you are going to have the conduction provided by the VAC. Okay, so that means to the total voltage prevailing across the load is going to be nothing but, it is going to be the line voltage between the line voltage VAB, VBC, VCA, depending upon the conduction of these devices. Okay, so here you may consider the for each 120 degrees, 60 degrees you will have one voltage, for 60 degrees you will have another voltage. This is going to be the reason that in the negative conducting devices, that is D2, D4 and D6. So for a positive conduction of 120 degrees, the negative conduction of negative conducting devices are going to be sharing two, 60 degrees one device, another 60 degrees other device. So the resultant voltage across the load is going to be VA minus VB minus VC. VA minus VB, VA minus VC. Okay, so if you are going to consider for D3 conduction instant, this D3 conduction is going to be VB. So for certain time you will have the conduction VB minus A, VB minus C. So you can consider VBC, VBA. Is it clear? VBC, VBA. So B phase is operated in the positive with the D3. This D3 is going to have the conduction in the negative provided for 60 degrees with this D6 and 60 degrees with D2. So ultimately what will happen? The resultant voltage is going to be this voltage, this particular voltage, phase voltage minus the conducting phases. So for certain time you will have the conduction for this D6. So VB minus VC, VBC, okay, and the other is going to be VB minus VA, that is going to be VBA. Similarly for the third phase, okay. So 60 degrees one half is going to be shared by the positive by the negative conducting device, and 60 degrees is going to be shared by the other conducting device. So is it clear with this? So you are going to have a total 120 degrees conduction. This total 120 degrees conduction is going to be shared by the devices. Okay. So then this is going to be in the case of an uncontrolled rectifier provided with the diodes D1, D3, D5 operating for the positive values of the supply, D2, D4, D6 operating for the negative values of the supply. Okay, so here also whenever you are going to consider the conduction spans for this device, this is going to be having the conduction from 30 to 150. This is going to have the conduction from 30, this is 30 to 150. This is going to be 150 to 270. This is from 270 to 390. Okay, similarly if you are going to consider the conduction for these devices, this D2 is going to have the conduction from 90 to 210. This is going to be from 210 to 330, and this is going to be from 330 to plus 120 degrees, 330, that is going to be up to 450 degrees. Okay, so this is in the case of a uncontrolled rectifier. So whenever you are going to consider the controlled rectifier, in the case of this controlled rectifier also you are going to have the same SCRs, three SCRs operating for the positive values, three SCRs operating for the negative values. Okay, so these are going to be having the conduction 30, 30, 150, 270. This is going to be 90, 210, 330. Those are going to be the starting instants for the conductions. Okay, so same as in the case, you are going to have the conduction provided, and we will consider the waveforms for these as shown here. One second. Okay, so this is going to be the uh, this is going to be the full wave converter provided. So in the case of this full wave converter, you are going to have three phase full wave converter provided with T1, T3, T5, T4, T6 and T2, which are going to be operating for the negatives. And whenever you are going to consider the operation, these are going to be provided with line voltages. So those line voltages are going to be VAB, VAC, VBC, depending upon the switching device that is going to be in the operation. This could be the output voltage across the load. Okay, so here whenever you are going to consider these waveforms, so here supply voltage is going to be supply voltage AB, AC, VA. Okay, the supply voltage, from this supply voltage you are going to have the output voltage. The output voltage is going to be nothing but the output voltage is going to be the resultant of these two voltages. So you are going to have a device in the conduction. So, and one device is going to be in the conduction out of the negative. So that is going to be, you are going to have the resultant voltage provided to be VA minus VB. This is going to be the line voltage prevailing here. So the conduction is going to be the conduction is going to be alpha equal to 0 for T1 is going to be this point up to this point, and alpha equal to 0 is going to be the conduction for this T2 up to this point. Okay, so T1 T2, that is going to be the conduction. You are going to have the this dotted dark line represents the output voltage, and this lines represents the input voltage. Okay, so here this is for alpha equal to 0 degrees. This is going to be for alpha equal to 0 degrees. Okay, whenever alpha is considered to be of 0 degrees, you are going to have the conduction provided from this point to this particular point. That is going to be the conduction of T1, and from this 150 to this 270, that is going to be the conduction provider for T2, and from this 270 to 330, that is going to be 270 to 390, that is going to be the conduction, that is going to be conduction provider for T3. Okay, so this is going to be the output voltage provided for zero firing angle in the case of a fully controlled rectifier provided with R load. Okay, so if you are going to consider for an RL load, always this will be 120 degrees conduction provided, and you are going to have the negative voltages provided. Okay, so here you are going to consider the second case, alpha equal to 90 degrees. When alpha is chosen to be of 90 degrees, what will happen? Sorry, 60 degrees. When alpha is chosen to be of 60 degrees, then what will happen? Actual triggering instant is going to be this 30 plus 60. That means the waveform starts at 90. The waveform starts at 90, and it will have the conduction up to 120 degrees. 90 plus 120, 210 degrees. You are going to have the conduction provided here up to 90 plus 90 plus 1 90. This is going to be 90. From this 90 to 120, you are going to have the conduction. So when alpha is chosen to be of 60, you are going to have the voltages VAB, VAC, VBC, VBC provided to be like this here. So this total is going to be this total angle here. When you are going to choose the total angle, this is going to be 60, this is going to be 60. So that means the total 120 is going to be the conduction of T1. VAB, VAC, that is going to be 120 degrees. VBC, VA, that is going to be, this total is going to be 120 degrees. Okay, if that the other case is going to be alpha equal to 90 degrees. Whenever alpha is chosen to be of 90 degrees, then you are going to have the voltage to provided to be in the output to be like this. VAB from conduction provided from this point to this point, this point to this point, and VAC, this is going to be the conduction provided here. Okay, if alpha is chosen to be of greater than 90 degrees, you are going to have an output voltage mean. That is going to be, you are going to have the complete reverse voltage. As we considered that whenever the reverse voltage is going to be considered, the converter is considered to be operating as of in the inversion mode. Okay, so once check these waveforms here. So these are going to be for a single phase, three phase converter provided with an RL load for alpha equal to 0, for alpha equal to 60, for alpha equal to 90 degrees, and for alpha equal to 150 degrees. Okay, so then when you are going to consider the output current, it is going to be nothing but the line current, and it is going to be constant. You can simply represent that line current to be with a constant straight line. You can represent with a straight line. Okay, then we need to consider one more. So the other is going to be this three-phase semi-converters. So the last one is going to be this three-phase semi-converter. Three-phase semi-converters are going to be nothing but the combination employed here is going to be T1 is going to be the SCRs and the diodes. SCRs and the diodes. Okay. So the SCR here, one thing to be identified is nothing but you need to directly consider the three-phase supply, or you can draw with a transformer. When the transformer is going to be used means for a high power required applications, you are going to consider this transformer, or else simply the three phases are going to be considered, and you can consider the converter operation. So T1, T2, T3 operating for the positive values, D1, D2, D3 operating for the negative values of the supply. Okay, so at each instant you are going to have the conduction same as in the previous case. This 120 degrees conduction of T1 is going to be shared by two devices, two devices of the diodes. Okay, so you can observe that here. mm, so this, from this point to this point, this cross point, it is going to be the conduction for T3. So you may consider here this cross point. So this is going to be for highly inductive load. Okay, in the case of this highly inductive load, you are going to have the conduction provided. One second. Freewheeling diode operation is going to be provided. So you have the operation provided with the freewheeling diode, and you will have the operation provided with these diodes. Okay, so what is in general, what is the operation that is going to be done whenever the freewheeling diode is not present? Means here T1 is going to be triggered at the instant of 30 degrees. When T1 is provided with a triggering pulse of 30 degrees, the current and current action path is going to be from phase A to T1, T1 to this load. So, but whenever you are going to consider these negative devices, any one of the two negative devices, any one of the three negative devices should be in the operation. Okay, so that means if D3 is going to be in the conduction, the source is going to be shorted. So this D3 will never be in the conduction when T1 is going to be in the conduction. So that means whenever the same leg devices will never be in the operation at the same instant. T2, D3 will never be in the operation, T3 and D1 will never be in the operation, and T1 and D2 will never be in the operation at the same instance. Okay, so if T1 is going to be in the conduction, then the other two diodes of the other two phases are going to be in the conduction, providing the return path of the current. So from supply to this T1, T1 to the load to this D1, and this is going to be the return path. Okay, in this case the resultant voltage is going to be nothing but you are going to have VA VC, isn't it? So the resultant voltage across the load is going to be VA minus VC. So VAC, that is going to be the VAC. If suppose in this particular case, if D3 is going to be in the conduction, the current conduction path is going to be from this phase A to this T1, T1 to this inductive load to this D3, D3 to this phase B. So what will be the voltage? The voltage is going to be nothing but it is going to be the line voltage between these two lines. So VA minus VB. So you are going to have a voltage of VAB. You are going to have a voltage of VAB. So similarly, the operation is going to be the same for any of the devices T1, T2, T3 like that. Okay, but what will happen means whenever an inductive load is highly inductive load is going to be considered, in that case these devices will be in the conduction for the negative voltages also. These devices will be in the conduction for the negative voltages also. To eliminate that, a freewheeling diode is going to be placed. This freewheeling diode here is going to be nothing but circulates the inductive current in this particular path, making the separation between the main switching devices. So these switching devices are going to be exactly turned off at the desired instant. Okay, so here whenever you are going to consider this, for this particular waveform here, you are going to have the conduction provided. So this is going to be the uh, waveform representation with the supply voltages. Uh, okay, so VAN, this is going to be VAN, VBN and VCN. This is going to be the phase to line. These are going to be the phase to neutral voltages VAN, VBN, and VCN. Okay. Out of these three voltages, at each instant you are going to have two devices in the conduction. One is going to be in the positive SCR. The other one is going to be the diode provided. So when you are going to consider this here, for different values of alpha you are going to have the different conductions. For different values of alpha you are going to have the different conduction. So whenever you are going to consider this, in this case, you are going to have the voltage VAB. You are going to have this VAN. So this voltage, the arrows, the part from this particular to this is going to be the conduction provided, and the else is not going to be the not conducting region. The arrows here is going to be the conducting region. So you are going to have an output voltage. The output voltage here is going to be, in this particular case, you are going to have two voltages. What is this? VAN, and what is this value here? This is going to be VCN. Okay, so VCN is going to be the voltage provided for phase C. VAN is going to be the voltage provided for this. Okay, so the resultant of these two voltages is going to be nothing but the output voltage prevailing this here, this waveform, from pi by 6 plus alpha to 7 pi by 6. So 7 pi by 6, up to that you are going to have the conduction provided by D1 and D2. You are going to have the conduction provided by D1 and D2. D1 and D2 is going to have the conduction. Sorry, T1 and D1. T1 and D1 is going to have the conduction provided. Okay. So whenever you are going to consider this here, T1, D1. Okay. When T1 and D1 are going to be in the conduction, you are going to have VAN, D1, VB, that is going to be phase C, VCL. Those are going to be the phase voltages. The resultant of that two is going to be nothing but it is going to be the VAC, which is going to be this particular magnitude. Again, when you are going to consider for the other phase, other conduction for T1 and D2, T1 and D2. So T1 and D2, you are going to have the conduction provided. Okay, at this particular point, what it happens means, as an inductive load is going to be present here, if this freewheeling diode is going to be not provided, then you are going to have the negative voltage provided here. From 5 pi by 6 to this particular point, you will have the negative voltage. So due to this freewheeling diode, what will happen? The inductive load, the current in the inductive load is going to be circulated here itself. So the this T1 and D1 are going to be turned off. T1 and D1 are going to be turned off. So you can consider the conduction instance here clearly. Okay, so T1 D1, from this point to this point, it is going to be the conduction. After that, freewheeling diode will be in the action, making the inductor current to discharge in its own path, and its discharge is going to be completed. Once the inductor is going to be charged in the reverse direction, then D1 is going to be moving to the blocking state. So it is going to be it is going to be blocked. After that, what it is going to be done? Again, T2 and D2 comes to the conduction. T2 D2, T2 D2 comes to the conduction. So the resultant voltage is going to be T2 B. So you are going to have T2 in the conduction. So VBN is going to be the voltage, and D2 is going to be the conduction. That is going to be D2 comes to the D2, and D2 is going to be in the conduction. What will happen? You will have the voltage VAN. So the resultant voltage here is going to be the resultant voltage here is VBN minus VCN, sorry, VAN, which is going to be VBA. VB is going to be the voltage provided here. Okay, so these are going to be the voltages of a three-phase connection, three-phase converter, semi-converter. Okay, that is going to be seen here. You can consider those waveforms here as of this conductions, T1 T2 conduction, T2 D1 conduction. Okay, for different firing angles, you can consider these waveforms here. This is completely related to these three-phase rectifiers. So once you simply consider this uh, expression for the output voltage, expression for the output voltage, and expressions for the output voltage. Okay, so once the operation is going to be clear to you, then you can simply derive the expression for the output voltage. So okay, so whenever you are going to consider the expressions for the output voltage, always you are going to have the conduction of 120 degrees. So the limits are going to be for a diode or else for an SCR. The operation is going to be considered from alpha equal to 30 degrees, alpha equal to from limits are going to be from alpha plus pi by 6 to alpha plus pi by 6. So that is going to be from 30 degrees to 150 degrees. That is going to be the conduction of devices, both in the case of SCRs or in the case of diodes provided for a converter. Okay. So whenever you are substituting those limits, you are going to get an expression in the case of a half wave or in the case of a full wave. Okay. So these are going to be the waveforms for different things. So you can check this one for an output DC voltage of a three-phase full converter. So here you are going to have the conduction provided by total, it is going to be 2 pi by 6, that is going to be the total periodicity, and the limits are going to be from pi by 6 plus alpha to pi by 2 plus alpha. Okay, so you are going to have the output load consists of 6 voltage pulses over a period of 2 pi. So why you are going to consider the periodicity to be of this value means you are going to have the periodicity for one cycle of a phase. For one cycle of a phase, you are going to have 6 pulses. So you are going to have pi by 6, 6 by 2 pi, integral pi by 6 plus alpha to integral pi by 6 plus alpha to pi by 2 plus alpha, which is going to be nothing but you are going to have get this value 3 root 3 by Vm pi into cos alpha. Okay. So is the paper and pen available with you? Anyone? Is the paper and pen available with you? So if the paper and pen is available with you, please copy this one, uh, these circuits. This table, please copy, place the side heading of three-phase full wave converter. Please place the side heading of three-phase full wave converter and draw the circuit diagram. 6 pulse full converter or three-phase full converter and copy this circuit. Yeah, once all of you turn on your videos, once all of you turn on your videos, everyone. 255, 260, 202, everyone turn on your videos. So please take a paper and copy the circuit. Is anything doubt related to the operation of three-phase converters? Is anything doubt related to the operation of three-phase converters? So blindly three-phase in each three-phase converter, any device which is going to be in operation is going to have the conduction of 120 degrees. Okay, that particular conduction is going to be reduced when uh, that particular conduction is going to be reduced when resistive load is going to be considered. and that particular conduction remains 120 degrees for all other resistive plus inductive loads. Okay, so here also the operation is going to be considered for less than 90 degrees and greater than 90 degrees. For greater than 90 degrees, in the case of an RL load, inversion operation is going to be possible as the mean output voltage is going to be negative. Okay, so that is related to this. Please copy this circuit, and once it is completed, please give me the reply such that I can provide you the other table related to this three phase converters. Is it completed? This one. So in general, you can simply represent with the phase A, phase B, and phase C direct connection for low power applications. This transformer connection is much not needed, but whenever high power applications are considered, this transformer configuration is to be represented. Okay. Is it completed? So if you have any doubt related to this topic, some are going to place the message related to the doubts in this. So while making a message related to any doubt, please mention your name. That could be easier for me to for me to identify you while answering. Okay, or else I am not going to be not identifying you for answering the question. So please, whoever you are going to have the doubt, they are supposed to place the name and ask the question. Okay, so hope, I think it is completed. Is it completed? Is it completed? So first thing is you need to practice these circuits and the waveforms, and at any instant if you get any doubt related to the waveforms and circuits, you simply ask me and I can clarify you. Okay, but the thing is, when you will get familiarity related to the operation is, the best method for studying the operation of a converter is going to be the conduction path. So what is the conduction path? When if if the so and so device is going to be in the conduction, so suppose if T1 is going to be in the conduction, you need to know about the current conduction path. Then you can familiarly draw the voltage and current waveforms. Okay, from this particular point to T1, T1 to this return, the return is going to be done either by this T2 or by this T6. Okay, so in that case, the voltage is going to be the resultant of AB and AC. that is going to be the line voltage prevailing. Okay, and one more thing is coming to this output voltage expressions. Once you check for the output voltage expressions, I will provide this in the drive link. Okay, and if you have any doubt you can ask me. Okay, hopefully this, I think this is going to be completed, and then simply draw this table itself for this session, phase sequence of SCRs. So this is going to be for phase sequence of SCRs. You are going to have for always 1 and 3, 1, 3 and 5 are representing the positive conducting sequence, 2, 4 and 6 are going to be representing the negative conducting devices, isn't it? So you are going to have T2, T4 and T6 representing for the negative values, T1, T3 and T5 representing for the positive values. So 30, 150, 270 for positive, 90, 210, 330 for the negative values. Okay, so please copy this one. Are you accessible with the Google Drive link, or else I post the link again? Number 210, 19 series 210, 208, 14, 19 series 14. Is the link accessible to you? Once it is completed, please reply me. So is it clear with the tabular form? Okay, so for T1, you can observe that conducting pair. If T1 is considered to be in the conducting pair, then this T1 is going to have the 120 degrees shared by T6 and T2. Okay, if you are going to consider the conduction instant of T2, that is going to be shared by T1 and T3. T1 and T3. Okay, like that. So if you are going to consider T1 in the positive half cycle, this T1 is going to be shared by half, half is shared by this T6 and half is shared by this T2. Okay, if you are going to consider this T3, the T3 half is going to be shared by T2 and T4. If you are going to consider T5, like that. Okay, is it completed?